Good morning, interwebs. It's 9:37. Kuma, get out of the plants. Move. Get out of there. I'll let you in. I think there must be something over here because he was digging around in there last night, too. I assumed he was just trying to get at the window to tell us something, but there must be a critter. I don't see a visible critter, but that doesn't mean he can't see one. Anyways, it's 9:37. It's probably 9:38 or 39 by now. Just came outside to snap a few quick pictures of these mermaid bags here that I completed yesterday, so I can put them up in the shop. It rained last night, so it's beautiful and dewy and much, much cooler. It's nice. Did make taking pictures a little more interesting because the spot I usually take them is wet, so I had to put something down so that these could levitate above the place that I've been taking my pictures, which is fine. Probably need to figure out a solution to that anyways, because I like taking the pictures over there. It just is not going to work year-round if the weather doesn't hold, unless I have solutions, like raising things up. But today, we're going to Manhattan, I have acupuncture, and we need to go to Joann's, clean to pick up a few things. We need to go to Aldi, because we need to pick up food, because our house is very much old Mother Hubbard right now, because it just took effort to go shopping, and we just haven't been down there at a time when it was not hot and good to leave, like, groceries in the car very long. So, anyways, today is actually a perfect day. Oh, look, I hung my flamingos up on my porch. Aren't they cute? So, now I have to go in and figure out, I guess I gotta put these up and then figure out what I'm gonna do in the wee bit of time. I think we're leaving at like 11. Oh, and let me show you what I did last night. So here is last night's excitement. Yes, for those of you that recognize it, it's Relish. And it's her first time on the stove for the year. Yes, it's the first day that I have done canning. That's the word. I'll remember it soon. But I did canning for the first time last night. It was just 2 batches, which felt pathetically small, but it ended up with 18 half pints and 6 pints of relish, which is good. So I also put a whole bunch of half pint jars of squash that I sauteed. The Magda squash, I sauteed it with salt and pepper, and it is already in the freezer, and I have some in the fridge that was cooling, so it can go in the freezer today. So we should very shortly have quite a bit of squash on hand. Good morning, interwebs. It is 8:43. My timer is about to go off, and it is Saturday? I think it's Saturday. Anyways, I'm just making some dinner here. Made some eggs. There's leftovers from lunch. I made bacon and squash and rice for lunch, so the leftover bacon and squash is in here, along with a bunch of cherry tomatoes that Steve and my kids brought in from the garden today. Eggs and then Parmesan cheese on top. And then, in the oven, I have some clearance French bread from Walmart with just some butter and cinnamon and brown sugar on it to make some quick cinnamon bread. We're gonna have that for dinner. Last night, I put up my first 3 quarts of tomatoes. Those are the big ones. The diced tomatoes, I don't bother to label with what they are. I just put the dates, so like July of 2018. And then there's all my relishes from the other night. I got 6 pints and 18 half pints, so good deal. And in case you're curious, my canning labeling color of the year is brown. I don't know that anybody cares, but every year I use a different color marker. I actually specifically bought myself a set of Sharpies that I only use for canning now. So every year, I just get to go in and pick a new color. And so we try and use a color that there is none left of in the basement. And I try not to like duplicate the colors, is what I'm saying, close together. So my kids are currently watching Wreck-It Ralph for like the 4th night in a row because it's a new movie to them and we had never seen it before, so that's exciting. I spent most of my day in here and the light is turning on, so it's very dark, but this room now does not look like it's attacking me. I got rid of all of the boxes that used to have my yarn stash and then had the books in them while we were working. Those are all outside and gonna be recycled. I moved furniture around some, so there's now a better aisleway. That chair will ultimately not be there, but my dad has like a BiPAP machine thing, so he needs that when he sleeps. Here's where he's currently sleeping. And then I have, this needs to get emptied out. It still has a bunch of china in it that's going up. In those top cabinets there is their final resting place. And then I will do something with this buffet. I don't think we're going to keep it. I have an idea. Whoa, you almost jumped out of my hand. No, stay there. I have an idea about turning it into a coffee table, like lopping the legs off and making it like a giant push-aroundable ottoman thing with like a cushy cover. We'll see. But I think I definitely might try that before, like, I don't want to go to the effort of probably trying to sell it. We don't want it. Nobody else wants it, so I can play around with it, and worst case, I end up ruining it, or it's not functional, and it already is not functional, right? So, I also cleared off the top of the piano, which used to have games. Those games are all now in the cabinets in the parlor, and those are all our photo albums from back in the day when I used to take time to, like, scrapbook and stuff. Oh, the first year of our marriage is very well documented. First, like, year and a half, and then we had kids. First year of that's also very well documented. And then I have a lot of pictures printed out that are not put in anything. I know, and a bunch of you are going to say you have the same problem. It's just the way it goes. But I found that video documentation is easier for me. So, I still have those boxes to go through. Those are like decorative items. You probably all recognize the I love you sign from my office. I need to figure out where I want to put that back up. If I want to put it back in my office. Steve made that for me when I was in high school. One year for Valentine's. I got mad at him because he didn't do anything like creative or make anything at the time. And I said, you need to make me something. This year for Valentine's, we're going to make each other something. So he made me that, and he cut them out of like melamine covered wood and spray painted them on his lawn and painted the lawn yellow simultaneously, which his mother was not super enthused about. And then he's like, there's just screws under all the letters, so it's kind of funny because they all kind of move, but they're funny. And so I've had that forever at this point. And that was the same year, notably, that I started making him a quilt. There's the blue tote bag, which I showed before, and I always say that I got the fabric to make a quilt for myself. Well, at the same time, I bought fabric to make a quilt for Steve in blues and reds, and I started it, and I thought it was going to go so fast. I was making a log cabin. I'd have it done for Valentine's. Well, I did make a ton of progress up front on it, and then, you know, life, and so I didn't finish it then. I didn't finish it until we moved to the resort, and we were managing the resort after we got married, I think. So it like sat in pieces for a very long time, and I don't remember if I finished quilting it until we moved here. But I cannot find it. Steve and I have been looking all over. I'm going to assume when we move the linens out of the bathroom shelves up to the cabinet upstairs, I'm really hoping that that blanket shows up because I like it. It is in the background. So like episode like 2 or 3 of Such Nice Work, which is the first iteration of my podcast, which is on this particular channel here. It's in the background. It's like over the couch, and it's red and blue, and it's a log cabin turned to be a barn raising quilt. Oh goodness, I got to go and pull my toast out before it burns. I'll check in later. Well, I burned it. I was considering making another batch, but I think we're just gonna suffer through with it the way it is. If people don't like it, they can just scrape off the top, because I'm ready to eat. So guess I'll let that cool for just a moment so I don't singe my fingers off, and then I'll cut it up.